Bonjour. Ça va? Last lesson we were working on sentence building with a focus on nouns and gender. I want to take that a bit further this time, so we're going to be bringing in adjectives and explore how they agree with the noun that they describe. But I've chosen activities which are more physical, and I hope you'll see the benefits this has for motivation as well as memory skills. This lesson works best outside or in a hall. We already know that gender affects nouns, articles and adjectives in French, and we can also spot clues to gender in word endings, use of un, une or il and elle. Today is about recognising that adjectival agreement, enough for the children to apply it confidently in their writing. The warm-up activity is a variation of the carrel diagram that we worked with earlier in the term. For a table sort activity, print one set of adjective cards for each group. The children have to organise them into families and agree on the meanings. So, for example, the big family includes grand, grande, grand, grande. Why are there 4 members of the family? Well, because just like with the body part nouns we sorted, they can describe items which are singular and masculine, grand, or feminine, grande, and others which are plural and masculine, grand, or feminine, grande. But, of course, there are a few challenges that will come up along the way. For example, how come the adjective rouge only has 2 family members? It helps if we first identified that the changes to the adjectives are generally adding an E, an S, or an E and an S. We saw this pattern emerge with our body part sort, E generally indicating feminine and S generally indicating plural. And we can see that applies with our big family. But rouge already ends with E. We can't add another E to it, but we can't take one away either. And so rouge without an S is both masculine and feminine singular, and with an S is plural, whatever the gender. Of course, there are always exceptions, and one of those is the beautiful family. Beau, belle, beau, belle. I bet your class will have their own ideas as how to remember these ones. I said this was a table activity, but if you like something a little more dynamic, you can enlarge the cards and give them out one per child. There are all sorts of ways you can use them. I like to use gym mats as adjective islands, and the children have to take their card and decide if they are masculine, feminine, singular or plural. You can also play a circle game. Swap places if you have an adjective which is feminine, or if you have a size adjective, or a plural form, and so on. It's a good way to warm up or revise during the week. I've included in the lesson plan an activity with jumbled sentences to revise the word order for this sentence structure. It has, a or some, size, noun, colour. Il a, une, grande, tête, verte. There are loads of different ways you could use this. It can be worked through together on screen, you could print off the pictures and captions for matching, or you could cut up the captions into words to jumble up and resequence. If you want to stick with the physical approach, then human sentence building works well. I give each child a whiteboard and pen. They each write one word on their board, and as a team, they have to build a sentence to describe the picture on the whiteboard. You can do this with or without component words displayed for support. This is one of my favourite speaking and listening activities. With a bit of sensitive pairing, every child will succeed, and it's proved a hit with even my most challenging classes. It works well in a hall or playground. It's fast, competitive, the children enjoy it, it involves everyone, it focuses attention to detail with spellings and grammar, and it makes a great warm-up for PE too. Working in pairs, one child is the runner, who has to read, memorise and dictate a short text to their partner, the scribe, at the other end of the hall or playground. The runner can go back and read the text as many times as they like. At the end of a time limit of, say, 5 minutes, the scribe must have on their board the text exactly as it is printed, and that includes spellings and punctuation. The runner isn't allowed to touch the board or pen. Once they have the text on their board, to make sure they've read and understood, I'll ask them to tell me about the creature that's described. They can find and underline the adjectives and explain why they do or don't have E's and S's. Then they can check and score their work against the printed text, either outside or once we're back in the classroom. I also always have a quick reflection before they swap roles to share some top tips for the next round of dictation. And I might shorten the time limit next time too. I've explained in the plan how you can make this task simpler or more challenging, and I've included example text that you can use at each level. As I explained at the start, the idea of this session is to recognise and apply adjectival agreement. And we've done this first by noticing the changes in form, and then by recognising and understanding them in context. I really hope you and your class will enjoy this more dynamic angle on revising French grammar. And I'm sure these activities would easily adapt for other subject areas too. Au revoir!